you can get blown right off your feet. And take a look at these boats here behind me. This has been going on for several hours now. The wind's just battering these boats against the docks and against each other. And then take a look over here. This is Tropical Storm Bill. This is where it's all coming from. There's actually a breakwater there. You can't even see it because the storm surge has completely covered it over. And when that happens again, it allows these waves to come into this harbor and just toss these boats around like toys. Here's the problem right now in Indianola. It is this. The road is blocked off. And the reason why, you see off here in the distance behind me, high water that has been here since the storm rolled through right around midday. If we can go ahead and push in, if we're back on this live video now, Marco Vecchio will be able to zoom right into all the law enforcement that still remains arrayed out in the front of this apartment where, again, we understand a suspect opened fire with automatic weapons on 2 Edinburgh police officers who were attempting to execute some sort of a warrant. Yeah, right now we're at the intersection of Engelman and Ramsey. We're a little bit west of Monte Alto, and I'm going to go ahead and let Randy go ahead and pan off and show you what's going on right now. You see a very large area of charred and smoldering brush, and just as you've seen this now, some of these firefighters from ELSA just got out back to the background, and they're getting ready to go over and take care of a hot spot that has been flaring up for the last several minutes. If we keep panning off to your left, what you're doing is you're going to be looking northwest, and that is going to be downwind. We are upwind of the fire. It's half caliche, half blacktop. I thought, you know, look, it's not that bad. Seems like somebody ought to be able to drive on it. Till we get in the middle of the road here. Whoa! You see, it's basically a lake. Suddenly, Nittler's been turned into a waterfowl habitat by all these floodwaters. And the force of the water on the canal, which is on the other side over here, the force of the water pushed this out, and so now they are going to try to take this piece of reinforcing concrete and wedge it back underneath the road here where the tunnel is. Right, well, let's go ahead and show you what's been causing the problem out here. Corn husks like this one, extremely dry, extremely easy to burn, and there are just piles and piles of them here behind me, still smoldering, still smoking. The suspect, we are told, got out of his car, jumped off of the bridge and into the Rio Grande River, and then swam into Mexico. I don't know how far of a drop that is. Clearly a very good drop. This man did not want to be caught, swam into Mexico. We understand Mexican authorities did also come very close to the border of the bridge as well and have been involved in the search for this suspect on the Mexican side of the border. This, again, still a developing story. We are trying to piece together some of the basic facts on this in terms of exactly what precipitated this chase. Let me show you something. This has been part of the problem out here. This sandy terrain. We're going to go now to the video that we shot earlier in the day. You're going to see the smoke in the distance billowing up into the sky. Check the inspection stickers on any of these carnival rides yourself. For example, they're right here, usually near the controller. Kenny's Funland Carnival. This inspected August of 2011, expires August of 2012. Now, I've checked most of the rides at this carnival, and they're all exactly the same, all inspected last August, so they're all good until next August. Frankly, this is as close as we are going to get. This is still a horrible, nasty, toxic mess. It's smoking, it's burning, it's fuming. We can taste it, we can smell it, it's burning our eyes, and it's not just us. There are some folks that are half mile away. They've been breathing this for 24 hours. So the area is almost perfectly made for smuggling. It's got landmarks, trails, and with all this brush and all these little side trails here, plenty of places to hide. So it's bad enough that, as you can see, Mrs. Moore said she clearly did not want a smart meter, and she has one, but as if to add insult to injury, right next door, they still have one of the old analog meters.
Transmigrante, a Latin American who buys used goods in the United States and takes them to Latin America to sell.
Here's how it works. A transmigrante in Guatemala, for example, drives up through Mexico into the United States. He buys used cars or appliances. Then he wants to go back to Central America through Mexico to resell those items. The Mexican government says the only place he can cross is here, the Los Indios Bridge. He gets to Los Indios, he has to get through U.S. Customs and Mexican customs.
So the Transmigrante hires a U.S. Transmigrante business to help him get through the port. It means getting titles for vehicles and filling out various forms. The business he hired in Los Indios has to work with the Mexican customs broker on the Mexican side to get that Mexican paperwork.
Some of these Valley business people in Los Indios say they are forced to pay cash quotas or bribes in order to keep operating. They claim cash greases the palms of Mexican criminals. Some point at the cartels. Now these business owners are saying enough. They are refusing to pay and they're speaking out. Tonight, those owners risk retaliation. They are afraid for their own lives.
Buenos días. Me llamo Kirk. Somos de Canal 5. Tell them what we're doing. Estamos haciendo un reporte de los transmigrantes cruzando.
Transmigrantes wait by the side of the road for inspectors to clear their shipments before crossing the Los Indios Bridge.
Hey, morning guys. That guy charged 750. I don't know how much that guy give it to Mexico.
On any day here, you can see the big trucks loaded with cars and other merchandise heading south. Their destination, Central America. Paperwork for U.S. and Mexican customs is handled by several companies in the nearby community of Los Indios and in other valley towns. Transmigrantes know they must cross, but for many, they are crossing the bridge to fear here in Los Indios.
Me han hablado para amenazarme. En tiempo atrás me han secuestrado clientes. We afraid that we scary for that. Convencido que vienen de gente que es de México.
We interviewed 3 American Transmigrante business owners. We agreed to hide their identities. We are using fake names to protect them. The first we call Juan.
They was charging the money inside the USA.
Juan says in 2006, the head of one local Transmigrante company told all the others they would have to pay so-called quotas to get the required paperwork from Mexico.
He told us that we had to pay the money here.
Juan says the payments started small, only $20. The toll kept growing. Now, Juan says Transmigrante companies must pay $450 for one shipment. It used to cost less than half that.
If you say, I don't believe you, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do that, I'm going to continue to cross my clients with the emergency, they say, okay. They call the office in Mexico, stop this company. This company is not going to cross in 2 weeks.
Another business owner, George, says he must also pay.
Como digo, a veces obligándonos a regalar nuestro trabajo, sobreviviendo solamente con lo poquito que podemos cobrar para los clientes.
Juan says the people demanding bribes raised the stakes last December. He says physical threats were made against him and others. Business owners who did not want to talk on camera confirm Juan's account. One person who did, we call Martha. She says the threats are coming from the Gulf Cartel.
Que es un delincuente, que es un ladrón, que si viene y si te mata, o sea, y que si él quiere se queda con tu casa, con tu negocio, con lo que tú tengas.
Since the physical threats began, Juan and some others are refusing to pay the quotas.
If you don't like it, that's fine. Okay, they stop. Okay, 1 week, 2 weeks. Okay, but they never say, if you don't do it, you're not going to live tomorrow.
A complaint was filed at the Cameron County Sheriff's Office in February. It states the owner of one Los Indios business, Transmigrante Cats, admitted collecting payments on behalf of a Mexican customs broker. She got that money from her competitors, other American Transmigrante businesses. That owner, Sandra Medina, told deputies the fee amounts were set in Mexico. She said collecting the fees had caused her nothing but problems and that she would no longer collect those payments. Cameron County Sheriff Omar Lucio says his office can do nothing to help. As he put it, it's not a violation in this country, it's a violation in another country. We showed up at Transmigrante Cats for answers and found a clerk.
Here at the office,
You collect the payments and take it over to Mexico?
I received the payment for the guys and whatever is for the paperwork.
Okay,
Yeah, our work.
right.
Yeah. We stamp the titles.
But you
We do
collect
the
the payment for the Mexican side also, right?
I mean, that kind of question, I don't know.
Okay.
I can tell you what I do here at the office.
Transmigrante Cats owner Sandra Medina has not called us back. The people we interviewed say they have tried complaining to Mexican authorities about the payments and the threats.
We contact Mexican custom, we contact the Marines, we contact the federal police in Mexico, and they don't do nothing.
Also caught in the web of extortion, the Transmigrantes themselves.
Pay much money. You
Right.
know. Before it's pay 250. Now it pays 750.
When did they change it?
Yes. Every single month.
Sources tell us members of the Gulf Cartel meet Transmigrantes near the center of the bridge on the Mexican side and demand cash. We used a hidden camera to speak with one Transmigrante as he was about to cross into Mexico.
Pues anteriormente se estaban cobrando en la oficina, ¿verdad? Ahora en el puente tenemos que pagar.
But you don't know who these guys are in the middle of the bridge that are doing it? What would happen if you said you don't want to pay?
Oh, no te dejan pasar, ¿no?
One Central American Transmigrante waiting near the bridge agreed to be interviewed. Then a man standing nearby issued a warning.
Okay, I want to hear with you, man. What that guy told me right now.
What did he say?
He said, I don't want to stay in trouble. You introduce me. Because that guy work with the other people the other side.
So once you cross, if you complain, once you cross, they might call, and then what would happen?
It happened something to me.
Somebody might attack you or kill you or what?
Something.
You never know, right?
You never know.
We contacted Mexican federal authorities multiple times for answers.
Los grupos de transmigrantes son personas que utilizan el puente de los indios.
We wanted to know how the Transmigrante system works.
¿Cuál es la tarifa impuesta por el gobierno mexicano para realizar este trámite?
A spokesman in Mexico City said the government would comment. We are still waiting for answers. The monetary stakes are allegedly enormous. One source wrote down the numbers. Weekly amounts for shipments total more than $207,000. It adds up to more than $10,800,000 in 1 year. The web page for the U.S. Consul General in Matamoros says there are no duty payments for the transit of goods through Mexico. It adds Mexican customs agents will charge a fee for their services. The website lists 5 customs agents in Matamoros. We tried contacting them by phone. We still have no answers as to how those companies set their fees. U.S. companies squeezed by a foreign system.
Sometimes I wake up in the night and I hear one noise and it's scary.
Paralyzed by fear.
Ya nos mandó a amenazar que va a tener que matar a un dueño de algún grupo para que ya todos nos quedemos tranquilos si eso es lo que queremos.
Unable to receive help from local or federal authorities, Juan and the other Transmigrante businesses are left wondering how they will survive. A federal spokesperson says Homeland Security Investigations is aware of what they call the Brownsville matter. We contacted U.S. Customs and Border Protection and the U.S. Consulate in Matamoros for their reactions. We are still waiting to hear back from them. Erica, we did get a statement from the FBI, though.
That's right, Kirk. It says the FBI is aware of allegations of criminal conduct regarding this matter. While FBI and DOJ policy prohibit us from discussing the outcome of our review of this particular matter, it is worth noting that generally, many claims the FBI receives are assessed to have merit, but do not indicate a violation of federal criminal law. Or there may be hints at a federal violation, but insufficient evidence to support a possibility beyond a reasonable doubt. In our studios, I'm Erica Proffer.
And I'm Kirk Chaisson, reporting for the I-Team, Channel 5 News at 10.